Hi YouTube friends and family, I'm a survivor and thriver here. Guys, I'm doing a video on how you can grow nutritious leafy greens inside of the comfort of your home for pennies on the dollar. A lot of people, say that they don't have space outside to grow food. They live in an apartment, or, they just don't have, they're renting and they're not allowed to grow a backyard garden. Well, you have no excuse, because you can do this super easily. Everything that you see that I have here in these little pans were grown inside of my house. Okay? Everything. Right here, I have beet greens, borage, Italian blend, carrots, cantaloupe, sugar snap peas, tatsoi. Yeah. And I've grown many others, but I just wanted to show you that you don't need any fancy equipment. You don't need any expensive grow lights. You just plant the seed into a soilless soil, and I'll explain that a little bit later. And you soak your seeds overnight, and you plant them on there and cover them up and put them in a dark place for 4 days. 4 days. And after that 4 days, you take it out, put it on a windowsill or, an open window. You don't even need direct light. And for the next 3 days, 3 to 6 days, it grows like this. And you can make yourself a super nutritious leafy green salad. It doesn't get any simpler than this. So what we do, we bought a supply of sprouting seeds, and we store them in these glass mason jars. This is just a representation. We have plenty more because we're living in some uncertain times, folks. And we just want to make sure that we have an ample supply for our family. So that's how we store them. And if you watch a lot of videos, they say that you need specialized seeds, to grow your sprouts. Well, I haven't found that to be true. I did buy a supply from a couple of supply folks who sell microgreen seeds, but I did an experiment, and I went to the dollar store and I bought these 4 for $1 packs of seeds, and they work just as well. I bought these black oil sunflower seeds from the feed store for really cheap. It was $1 and something per pound, and that works as well too. So you might have local supplies in your area that you're not, you may not think that you can use those seeds, but you could. As long as they're not sprayed with any chemicals, and stuff like that, you're good. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right. A lot of people may not even know that you could do this, and I just want to spread the word that you could. Growing these microgreens like this, these microgreens, believe it or not, are up to 40 times more nutritious than the mature plant. Like, let's say I was to take one of these cantaloupe seedlings here and grow it outside, which you could also do. The way the level that it's at right now, the stage that it's at right now, is way more nutritious than an actual cantaloupe that grows from it. So, in case you didn't know that, man, I tell you, like I was stating before in a couple of videos, calories are king, but nutrition is the queen bee. And growing powerful, nutritious microgreens, that's definitely a queen bee there. All right? And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And before I leave, I want to tell you a couple of things about this. Like I said, you don't need any artificial lights to grow it. As long as you can see it, that's all the light you need. Okay? The equipment that you need to use, you might even have some equipment in your kitchen. I know that you do. I bought these small aluminum trays from Amazon, but You can use bowls. You can use your ceramic bowls that you have in your house. You can use trays that you get from stores where you, like if you buy rotisserie chickens or whatever, you can use these trays. So you don't have to buy expensive equipment to do this. And you get a salad, a nutritious salad green every day. What I do is I soak seeds and I plant them every day. And so I always have a good supply of leafy greens, powerful, nutritious leafy greens in my kitchen every day. I also use them in smoothies. I ferment them. And you know, with the process of fermentation, you know, it creates, you know, very powerful nutrients as well. So on top of powerful nutrients you get from microgreens, when you ferment them, you even get more powerful nutrients. It's just like a slam dunk of nutrition. Another benefit is that kids love to grow these microgreens. If you sit them down, if you have a kid who don't like eating salads, the minute you teach them how to do this, you sit down and show them and let them do the footwork, believe it or not, they eat it. I have a family member who I started her a little inside microgreen garden, and she swore to me that her kids will not eat it, and they devour it. All right, and you know it's very good for them. As long as you get the microgreens at the stage, at the first leaf stage, which is called the cotyledon. That's COTYLEDON. You know, you can just grow it and eat it right at that stage. And I tell you, that's when it's the most sweetest. And I tell you, best tasting part. You can wait until it grows its true leaves as well. But I try to avoid that. I try to go with when it grows its first set of leaves, you know, and it's a certain height. That's when I harvest mine. All right. So basically, you know, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. And before we leave today, I'm going to make a quick salad to show you how simple this is from these microgreens. Okay? So I'm going to put this camera down here. And I'm going to bring you over here to this side where I'm going to make a small salad. So whenever you're soaking these seeds, what I'm going to do is the next video, I'm going to show this in action about how I do the whole process. But for now, I'm just going to do a quick harvest so you guys can see how simple this is. So I would take some leafy greens here. This is the cantaloupe. And as a matter of fact, I wanted to tell you guys that this cantaloupe tastes like actual cantaloupe. It tastes like melons, you know, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. So you can get microgreens that are spicy. You can get some that are sweet, like the corn microgreen is super sweet. People are so taken aback by the taste of it. And it's just such a pleasant surprise. Okay, so that's one. That's one that I harvested. Okay, and you can have a second set of growth. Like if I was just to let this sit in the windowsill, it'll grow some more, but it will never be as much as the first harvest. The ones that'll grow for the second harvest are the ones that were shaded by the taller plants. Okay. So the second one that I'm going to harvest is the borage. And when you want to store these, the best way to store them that I found is you store them in glass mason jars in the fridge. And they will stay like that stay fresh for weeks if you was to do it, you know, do it like that. Now for this, if you was to store it like this, for this, I'm not going to harvest all of these. I'm going to save some for a family member. And so this is the harvest of the borage. All right. So what's next is the Italian blend. So I'm going to cut this. Put this in here. And again, I'm going to save some for a family member. I'm not going to eat them all. I'm not going to be greedy. And last but not least is the tatsoi. I'm making a small mess here. Okay. All right. So with these sugar snap peas, I'm going to harvest these today too, but I'm not going to put them in a salad. I'm going to use them in a stir fry. So I'm going to fry those up and put some onions in the pan and wait until they're translucent. Then put some garlic in there and put a little salt and fry it up and eat it like that. Okay? All right, guys, so check this out. Look at this salad that I just made. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? And this is a powerhouse of nutrition. I do have greens outside that I could add to this. Like I have some moringa that's growing out there that I'm going to add. And I'm also adding my homegrown little sweet Everglades yellow tomatoes. So I'm going to add that to my salad. I grew that in my backyard. And there we go. So like I said, I'm going to add a couple of more leaves, greens from outside, like moringa. And I'm also growing a cranberry hibiscus outside that I'm going to add. But look at that, family. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? All grown from inside except for the tomatoes. And of course, I'm going to add my little salad dressing. But you don't have to. That's the crazy thing about these microgreens. They taste so good where you don't even have to add salad dressing. But I just like that little extra, taste in there. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know that, only your imagination, if you have a good imagination, you can find a way to do things that need to be done for you and your family, especially in these trying times that we're facing these days. Let's say you have, your garden outside and it's winter and you can't grow anything out there. You can do this easily. Let's say if the shit hits the fan and it gets worse and people are out there raiding your garden, you could do this in the privacy of your own home. I mean, if that happened to me, I would be upset, but at least I will know that I'm not completely helpless and I could still help my family with great nutrition inside of my house. All right, guys, that's it. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. And I have a book that I read that inspired me to do this. And that is an awesome book. And I'm going to share that link in the description section. And I'm going to share the link of the equipment that I used here. And as you can see, I used just some masking tape and a Sharpie marker to put on here to label it, to show what plant I'm growing and the date that I started it. And I also did a little experiment. I wanted to see if I could grow it with this Ziploc bag covering these little mini trays so that they don't degrade as quickly, So I'm trying that, and that looks like that worked out great. Okay? Because in this situation, that we're living in now, you want to preserve all of your equipment for as long as possible so you don't have to keep rebuying things. All right? So even though those little tins, they may last a long time, but I'm sure that, after a while you'll start seeing, hey, look, they're going bad because, water is being put in there and, So I'm trying to avoid that, and that's why I did that little experiment. Like I said, it's working great. All right, guys, like I said, if you have any questions, put them below. And we're all here to help each other and to learn from each other. And you guys have a great day. And hang on in there. We're in some tough times, and you know, everybody's feeling it in one degree or another. So just hang on in there, and always know that if you want to be like me, I'm a survivor and thriver. Out.